Switching gears, the world is waiting for U.S. President Donald Trump's major statement on the Russia-Ukraine war. Trump is expected to announce a new plan to arm Ukraine on Monday. And before this, he already greenlit sending more Patriot air defense systems to Ukraine. And reports citing sources claiming that the major statement may include sending offensive weapons to Kiev. An Axios report citing two sources said that the plan was likely to include long-range missiles that could reach targets deep inside Russian territory, including Moscow. In fact, sending offensive weapons would be a major shift for Donald Trump, who had so far said he would provide only defensive weapons to avoid escalating the conflict. But Trump has recently showed his frustration with Russia and its leader, Vladimir Putin.
We will send them Patriots, which they desperately need, because Putin really surprised a lot of people. He talks nice and then he bombs everybody in the evening. So there's a little bit of a problem there, and I don't like it.
In fact, while the details of the major announcement are still awaited, the Republican Senator Lindsey has indicated that President Trump may use billions at his disposal under the Presidential Drawdown Authority. The Biden administration had approved $67 billion in military aid to Ukraine. And when Trump took over in January, there was still $4 billion in PDA available to Ukraine. Graham also noted the use of frozen Russian assets to aid Ukraine could be discussed during the NATO Secretary General's visit to the U.S. The senator emphasized that he does not want to get ahead of President Trump's announcements, but urged people to watch out for news about the frozen Russian assets. The senator also mentioned a bill proposing increased tariffs on countries that purchase Russian energy resources. In early April, 50 American lawmakers, led by Graham and Richard Blumenthal, introduced a bipartisan bill to impose sanctions on Russia. The bill proposes a 500% tariff on imports from countries that buy Russian oil, gas, uranium, and other raw materials. In fact, Graham has said that he and Senator Blumenthal will be meeting with the NATO Secretary General, who is visiting Washington on the heels of the U.S. leader announcing plans to sell NATO allies weapons that it can pass on to Ukraine. And apart from President Trump, the NATO Secretary General will also be meeting with the Secretary of State Marco Rubio, the Defense Secretary, as well during the two-day visit. The new initiative will involve European countries paying for U.S.-made weapons that will be sent to Ukraine. Rubio has said that some of the U.S.-made weapons that Ukraine is seeking are deployed with NATO allies in Europe. And those weapons could be transferred to Ukraine. Those weapons could be transferred to Ukraine, with European countries buying replacements from the U.S.
Well, I'm going to have a meeting with the Secretary General who's coming in tomorrow. But we basically are going to send them various pieces of very sophisticated military, and they're going to pay us 100% for them. And that's the way we want it. And we've been trying to get that again. I don't think Biden ever asked for it. We're in for about $350 billion. Europe is in for $100 billion. That's a lot of money, 100, but they should be in actually for more than us. So as we send equipment, they're going to reimburse us for that equipment. Doesn't that sound good? That's the way it should have been a long time ago.
But Germany has said that it will not provide Patriots from its own current stockpiles. The German defense minister has said that it no longer has enough Patriots to provide from its own stockpiles, as two are currently in Poland and another is always used for training or under maintenance. The minister also said that it will not supply Ukraine with Taurus cruise missiles. Meanwhile, the U.S. Special Envoy arrived in Kiev. Ukraine has said that he will be discussing many issues, including defense, weapons, sanctions.